welcome to Brazil. We're a couple of days away before the start of leg 4, and we've got a few of the sailors, the teams kind of milling around here on the shore. So we thought it'd be a nice idea to grab a couple of people who know all about the boats, know all about doing well, and in fact we've got the 2 boats that are right now doing the best in first and in second position. So we've got Marine Derrien from Team Holcim-PRB, the team manager, and we've got Nicolas Lunven, the 3rd time ocean race navigator from Team Malizia. So first of all, let me just start by asking, probably Nico, I'll ask you this because we've all been watching what happened on leg 3. All of the teams had an incredible adventure, an incredible journey. Was it harder than you expected to get here to Brazil?
To be honest, it was a bit easier than I was expecting. I don't say it was super easy,
No,
but I was
wasn't
expecting
super
a
easy.
very, very hard leg, and finally it was a bit more easy than I was expecting.
Really? Why do you say that?
I think for 2 reasons. Because the Southern Ocean, the weather was not so bad.
Yeah, okay.
We didn't encounter a very big storm from Cape Town to Cape Horn.
Yeah. I mean, big enough storms though. I mean, you saw 50 knots.
Yeah, but it was after Cape Horn.
Oh, okay, so nothing. Yeah, it's
No, I don't say nothing, but but when you look at the big picture of finally of that leg, you are expecting very cold, wet, strong wind, bad sea state in the Indian Ocean and Pacific Ocean, and finally they were not so bad. And on top of that, our boat, Team Malizia, with the close cockpit, you are all the time dry.
Yeah.
If you are dry, you are not so cold, even if it's 5 degrees. 5 degrees, if you are dry, it's easy to be warm because you just put dry clothes, so it's okay. When you start to be wet, it's another story. So maybe on the other boat, it was probably more difficult on the Holcim-PRB on the other boat. And then the thing that, to me, the worst part of that leg was from Cape Horn to here in Itajaí.
Yeah.
Because we had, in 1 week, we had 2 or 3 big storms up to 50 knots. We didn't have that before that. So.
Yeah, okay, and that was where we saw a lot of boats being blown over on their side.
Yeah.
But it's surprising to hear you say that with everything that I know you had with your mast and everything else. And Marine, if I could ask you, obviously for Team Holcim-PRB, I think I'm right in saying you didn't have your big dramatic moment where it was looking like you were maybe going to have to retire, or did you? Did you have a big oh crap moment, or was it a comparatively simple leg?
No, it was for sure a simple leg for the guys and girls on board because they didn't have massive issue with the boat, like didn't break anything until the last night or 2 last night, and that's where we did the Chinese jab, and then we had a big damage on the boat and we lost Malizia on that moment. But before it was actually a good leg for us, and at the end also, it was a really good leg. Finished second, it was a really good result for the team. But yeah, all the sailors are saying they were expecting something worse, and from the shore we were happy that it ended like that. I mean, it was really intense leg, and as soon as they passed Cape Horn, we thought for everybody it's finished, but it's not. As Nico said, after it was a few days really hard, and I think it's also because you believe you're close to home, and it's not the case. But no, it was a relatively good leg for us, and for the other teams, we're really happy to see 5 boats here. I mean, it's good for the race and for everybody.
And what's it like for you? I mean, because I know we've got you sitting next to each other, first overall, second overall, won the last leg, second in the last leg. Always we see, you've sailed with some of the other sailors on the other teams. You've worked with the Dongfeng race team. You've worked with some of the sailors on the other teams. Is it all friends? How much secrets do you have compared to each other? I mean, Nicola, if Kevin Escoffier wanted to come on board Team Malizia, if he wanted to come on board in Brazil, he wanted to come on board, have a look around.
I think Kevin already came on board Team Malizia
really?
a few times.
Right.
And I think if Kevin wants to come on board, he's welcome on board, because I know that if I ask him to come on board Holcim-PRB, I am also welcome on board. So
have you been on board Holcim?
No, not yet. But
Okay.
I know I am invited because Kevin already told me that I can come on board when I want. But but because Kevin is in this mindset, Boris Herman is also in the same mindset.
Sure, okay.
So they
An
know
open-
each
an
other,
open
so they
mindset.
are open-minded.
Yeah.
So it's a bit different maybe compared to the past, because it was everything was almost secret. Even if we are competitors, we are friends on shore, and also I know that I guess I am welcome on board Holcim-PRB, and everybody from Holcim is welcome on Team Malizia.
Yeah.
Okay, so what? Maybe it's because you're on board, and maybe it's because you've been watching the boat feeds and everything else. What has there been, Marine? Let me ask you this first. What has there been that you've gone, oh, I wish I could have that? Maybe a sailor, maybe a shape of the boat. I mean, with Malizia, maybe a sail, maybe something. Is there anything that you look at the other boats and you think, in a fantasy world, I'd love to have that for Team Holcim?
No, I don't think we see it that way. I think we're happy for everybody to have different things, and we see it. No, I don't think anyone is jealous of what. It's just we try to do the best with what we have, and I don't think at one point where I wish I had this. It's more how do they have that, and why do they have that, and try to understand and improve our performance too. But I don't think any time we are jealous, and I don't think it's good to be jealous. I think
it's not good to be jealous, but I'm just asking anyway.
But no, I don't think it's the right attitude.
Okay, and because your two boats are very different.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got low and sleek.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps that Kevin is short,
Yeah.
but low and sleek. We've got Malizia, which is like big and sort of powerful.
I am not so big.
No, you are not so big. You are not so big. But like you say, that sort of comfort thing. I mean, are you happy on Team Malizia that you have got the biggest, heaviest boat, which was really good for the last leg, maybe not so good for the previous leg? Do you look at the other teams and be jealous in any way?
For sure, probably our boat was the best boat for the last leg, maybe not the best boat for the next leg, but we will see. We also saw during leg 2 from Cabo Verde to Cape Town that finally, even in light or medium condition, we were able to fight compared to the others. So we know that we have a strong boat for heavy condition like the last leg we did in the Southern Ocean. We know that we are supposed to be probably a bit more weak in light and medium condition like we are supposed to have from now to the end of the race, but it's not 100% sure. We still have to investigate a bit.
Yeah, and you are right that your boat has been surprising to some people that in the light VMG conditions.
Finally, at the beginning of leg 2, we were losing a lot compared to the other boat, and finally during the leg, we were able to catch them up a bit. And finally, at one stage, we were leading also the fleet, and then we finished fourth, but it was very close, the racing at the end in Cape Town. So we still have to investigate a bit to improve ourselves, work on the boat, to improve the boat. So it's still lots of to do to the finish of that race, and then for the future also.
I mean, I think as a sailor, it's normal to hear you talk about the boat and what we can do to work out the boat. Marine, if I could ask you about the sailors, a lot of the people that have been following the race are always quite fascinated about what happens when the boats come in here and then the sailors go. We all know what you guys do when you're on the water. You pull, you ease, you look, you check. But how much do you have to do? I'm guessing it's harder as a team manager when they get to shore. You've got all the sailors there. Are they sort of wandering around? Not much to do, sort of wandering, before the race can start?
Yeah, as soon as the sailors are coming in, we send them in holiday. I mean, they've been doing long legs, long days at sea, so the first thing is to go and rest. And then it's the shore team taking over the boat, lifting the boat out of the water and servicing everything and make sure the boat is ready once the sailors are back, as it is now for the Pro-Am here in Itajaí. And now it's again the sailors coming back on board. And I always say to my team is passing the baton, the relais, on shore is the shore team, and then is the sailor. And you win the race on the water, but also a lot on shore. So that's what we have to do well on shore and at sea.
I have always enjoyed that debate as to whether the boat is owned by the sailors or just sailed by the sailors. We're the shore team, this is our boat and we give it to you. But I just wonder where you say they go on holiday after a long leg. I know that leg 3, you guys have said, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Maybe not this edition, maybe in previous editions with your other experience. Have you ever had a sailor come off a leg and go, I quit? Have you ever experienced that? I wonder whether it gets to that point.
Well, there's many times sailors say never again, and every time they come back, and it's the same for the short team. I have to ask them now, the short team, if they want to be back, and never again. No, it's the same, but we forget, we love it, and they're always back, and the sailor is the same. Ask at the end of the Vendée Globe if they want to do it again. They never want to do it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, would you agree with that? Would you echo that as well? As a sailor, as somebody who's been there in the
So
good
I'm
and the
agree
bad?
that we are stupid enough to come back.
So, what about then for you guys in terms of your two boats? Very different boats. What would happen if we took the sailing team of Team Malizia onto Holcim-PRB, and we took the sailing team from Holcim-PRB and we put them on Malizia? Would you still get you guys at the front fighting, or without your boat, could you not find your groove? I mean, what do you think about that?
It's an interesting question. I don't really know. We should do it to know. So if you want to know
So
the
now
answer,
you've
we
used
should
Team
do it.
Malizia for the Southern Ocean. No, use Holcim now.
Yeah, maybe maybe it's a good idea for us.
Yeah.
No, not sure. Well, I think even if our boats are very different, as you know, and as it's quite easy to when you look at the pictures.
Yeah.
But finally, when we are at sea, the performance are not so different. So I think if we swap boat, not sure the result will be different.
Okay. I mean,
Holcim will still lead the fleet.
And you will be able to work out, because that's the thing for me, is that you've spent time with your boat, Sea Explorer, working out how to get it fast. Holcim needs a different way to get it fast. It needs different style, different setting.
Yeah, but you can be fast, but with different way of trimming the boat and things like that. And finally, look at the boat. The boats are very different. And finally, when we are together at sea, you have less than 0.2 or 0.1 of boat speed difference. So finally, I don't say that we all sail in the same way. But even if you have different boat, different way of thinking about how to trim a boat, how to sail a boat properly, but finally the differences are so small that the result will probably be the same.
Yeah. Okay. Let me bring in then the third thing that I think. You've got sailors, you've got boat, and then resources, budget. Do you ever get the sailors saying, "Oh, we want this," and you have to say, "No, we're not. We haven't." You know, how much do the sailors ask for things that are just you can't afford, you can't find, you can't suddenly magically produce at the end of a leg?
It's different than previously. Previously, you had more sailors, so more requests. This time is also the project of Kevin. You know, is his budget too, and he's building the project to go through the Vendée Globe. So he knows like how much budget he's got, and he knows what he can have and can't have. And the other sailors are more crew and helping Kevin to prepare his Vendée Globe is a bit the way he sees it. But often I do have to ask Kevin, do you want this or this? And you have to choose. You can't have both. So it's like, for sure he will love to have everything, but then the budget-wise, like sometimes stop us, and you make decision, and that's when it's interesting also to take decision and.
Oh, you have to. Yeah, you weigh it up.
Yeah.
Pros and cons. Yeah. And what about with sailors as well then? Because obviously, for the start of the next leg, you've got a whole bunch of new sailors.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's a complete change. And I think biotherm as well has got a change. So how do you go about finding the right sailors to sail on this boat with Kevin Escoffier, who has got his personality, good in places, I'm sure, bad in places, like all human beings. Did he pick them? Do you pick them? How does it work?
Well, it's a team decision. It's for sure a lot of discussion between Kevin and myself, and decide what we wanted for the project, what we wanted for Kevin, and I guess it depends also a lot with the result. I don't think you make the same decision when you're a leader or when you last on the ranking. So it's a lot of a combination, and again, we are like the ocean race is our top priority today. We want to go and win it, and the Vendée Globe too. So we are trying to make decisions based on those two elements. And yes, as a new team, it was a decision we made because we wanted fresh blood.
And when was that decision made? When did you get these sailors agreed, signed, sorted? How long ago?
From Alicante, we knew we were going to change our sailors in Itajaí.
Okay.
The final call was in Cape Town.
Right, because I wonder whether it makes it easier that you've been doing very well, and it makes it easier to say to the sailors, come and join this team. You're joining a team that's doing very well.
Yeah.
You know, was it like that? Were the sailors a bit more keen?
I think it puts a lot of pressure on the new sailors coming in. You know, they want to do well. They want to prove that they have the position or their.
That's a very good point. If you join a team in first place, all you can do is go down. That's a very good point.
So they come with a lot of ambition and a lot of fresh blood, and that's what we wanted. So it's difficult for them. But it was, we knew from the beginning that we were changing the crew, and that's the way we build a team, that's the way we build a project, and that's the way we also presented in Alicante. We presented 7 sailors and not 4 sailors. And that was the strategy, and we'll have more sailors coming in, and I think someone asked me how many sailors we'll see. I think it's between 11 or 12 people coming in a project, and it's a different strategy than Malizia. I think Malizia is a core team and keeping the same people, and I think it's a good strategy too. It's different. We decided to bring a lot of different people to bring a lot to Kevin.
Okay, all right. Final question on this then, and you don't have to name names, but I'm just curious because I know that picking the sailors, it's important to get them to fit into the team.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a situation where you've gone, that sailor is really good, but they don't have the right personality, they don't have the, do you know what I mean? You've had to say, you're a really good sailor, but no, not for this team. Does that happen?
Ask for the name.
No, shall I ask for the name? I don't think she'll say, but go on, carry on.
I'm not on board, so maybe.
Yes, definitely. Definitely, you sometimes don't pick some sailors because you don't think it will be the right fit.
Yeah.
And the team needs to stay together, and it's about team and not individuals. So yes, sometimes we are not picking some sailors because we don't think it will be the right fit.
Right.
It doesn't mean it won't be another time, but at the moment, it's not the right fit.
So it's not just about skill.
No.
It is that you know, coming together. It's got to work as a whole.
Yeah, it's the same in the short team. There's a lot of people that we know we can't work together. I mean, when you work in Itajaí or in Lorient, it's not the same. Here is different pressure. We've been traveling for months.
Yeah.
You know, you need to bring people that are happy to live all together. And sometimes you will maybe not take the best skills, but just better like softer skill. You know, people that are just happy to be here, and it's easier.
I completely understand that. And I know I'm going to let you both go very shortly. But Nico, just on that, I'll ask you one more question. So as a sailor, then, I know you get paid to do this because, you know, one, it's dangerous.
It's my passion.
It's your, right, but that was my question. Is this a job? Is this a passion? What does it feel like to you? Because there's a professional element. You have to go to the gym, you have to stay in shape, but there's also, you want to win. And you go to the gym and you stay in shape to win. What is it for you? Job or the love?
For me, it's more a passion than a job. Yeah, because when I am asked from a team to join them, like Team Malizia or some other project outside the ocean race, most of the time I answer yes or no because I want or I don't want to go.
Yeah.
But we are still not talking about money.
Sure.
And then I came back home and said, oh man, but how much I'm going to be paid?
Okay, but it's the passion first.
Yes, of course,
Okay.
because I am keen to do that race, or I am keen to sail with that people, with that team, or with that boat, or something like that. And I say, oh, yes, it's a dream, so I want to do it. So I answer yes. And therefore, yes. Oh, I call them the day after, but I'm going to be paid or not?
Okay, all right, then finally for both of you then, just really quickly, we're halfway through the race. Sitting on the top of the overall leaderboard, the only boat so far to have beaten Team Holcim-PRB. I know pretty much what you're going to say. I know you both want to win, but what's your prediction for the second half of the race? Will it just be Team Holcim winning every leg? Do you think the other teams will catch up? Briefly, what do you think?
No, I think it's good that all the teams can catch up.
But do you think that they will? Do you think that they will catch up?
I don't know. It's difficult to say. We're working hard to stay on the top of the leaderboard, but I mean the fight needs to be until the end. It's really cool to have all the boats here, and if it's close racing, is what we want.
Okay, all right, Nico.
Yeah, it's very difficult to answer because it's a sailing boat race, so everything can happen. Just remind that when we did the ocean race Europe 2 years ago, it was Team Germany who won the race finally.
With the oldest boat, with no foils.
With a 15-year-old boat with dagger board and things like that, but they did super well.
And it's good.
And it's good. And it's good like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's also one reason why we are passionate with that. Because
you don't know the result.
We don't know the result because in Alicante, to me, 11th hour would be probably the winner of the race, but today it looks it's going to be very hard for them.
Yeah.
It's not finished, not over yet. Everything can happen. So everything can happen.
All right. Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, I'll let you guys get back to resting, having a holiday, recovering, getting yourself ready for the next day. We are next going to see our boats getting out on the water for the import race on Friday, and then we are going to be seeing the leg 4 departure on Sunday as these boats continue their journey around the world. Thank you very much for joining us. Marine, thank you very much. Nico, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we'll see you all soon.